Oh hey witchlings, didn't notice you there. I'm over here, ready to tell you all about how I dedicated myself to the goddess Frigga. Because as you know, I am a devotee of Frig, and I thought back in November of 2019, it would be a good idea to finally make it real and do an actual dedication. And here's my story. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first, I got myself a whole event plan for dedicating to Frigga. I got myself a bunch of beautiful roses. They're all like peach colored. And I got myself a bath bomb, and I got myself some fancy soaps. And I even got myself a bottle of wine that I thought Frigga might like. Even the goddess on the front, or not, even the little character on the front of the wine looked a bit like a goddess because she had like a butterfly over her face. So I got all this planned, and I made myself a very lovely bath and dedicated some time just for me and Frig. So I drew myself a bath. I lit so many candles, and I had a candle specifically just for that dedication. It was a nice peachy pink, and it was really the right colors. So I made myself the bath. I got so many flowers out here. Look at all the flowers in the tub. Look at all the flowers over here. Look at all the flowers. It's gonna be a good time. Good time to dedicate to Frigga. I put in a bunch of Epsom salts and my bath bomb. I laid down and I got really cozy, and then I went into meditation. So when I meditate, I start with my root chakra, my sacral, the belly one, the heart one. You know, I just feed all of my different chakras up the throat, the third eye, and the top one until everything is nice and charged. And then once I'm a nice ball of energy, I shoot myself up to my special place in my head. So the first thing I did is I did all that while I was in the bath, and then I shot myself up into my special place. When I was there, I just kind of chilled until it seemed like someone was coming, and nobody really seemed to come. So I just kind of like laid down and chilled in my special place in my head until I opened my eyes again, and I realized that I was in a field of the same flowers I had in the bath. It was a field of peach roses, and it was gorgeous, and it just stretched forever. It was like being in the Netherlands with their tulip fields, and I was just laying in these roses. There were no thorns, it was just soft. And as I was laying in these roses, I heard what sounded like a festival, and I looked and I saw this little like Middle Ages village, like very basic, so stone buildings made with mud slap and hay. And it seemed like a lot of people were playing. I also saw in the distance there was a windmill, so it was very Netherland-esque. I saw a windmill in the distance also. By the way, if you see me looking down, I have my book of shadows on the go, or like my book of mirrors, a bullet journal, and I wrote down my dedication stuff in here. So I was in this field beside this adorable little town, and I heard the music. So I started to walk in the direction of the music. As I was walking, I noticed that I was wearing this garment of white lace. This dress, it was like a nightgown, and it was made of this beautiful white lace. As I got closer to the town, some little girls came out, and they're adorable little girls, and they grabbed my hands, and they were so excited to bring me into the festival, and they started to lead me in. So they led me through the town first, and then they started to lead me beyond the town. And as I went beyond the town, I knew that there was an essence in front of me, and it was like a tower. The essence of white light, it was like a tower of majesty and just brilliance and kindness, and I knew that they were taking me to the goddess Frigga. Before I got to the goddess, they took me and they poured goat's milk all over me and all over my white lace gown. They washed my face with the goat's milk. And then after I was washed with the goat's milk from top to bottom, I saw a maypole in front. But the maypole wasn't just a normal maypole. It went up to the clouds. It was as high as you could be. And there were so many brilliant colors dancing off of the maypole. It went up to the clouds, and the clouds, they spun. They spun like Frigga's clouds. And I knew they were the clouds of destiny that she spins from her spindle. Finally, as I was walking through and being led, the little girls led me to goddess Frigga. And I saw her, and she was just this brilliant white light here in this little tiny town. And as I was there, I knelt my head down and I said, I dedicate myself to you, Frig. And another thing that was surprising is I ended up calling her Frig. It felt more sincere than Frigga. So I started saying Frig instead. And since then, whenever I feel extra passionate about Frigga, I call her Frig. It's like a more powerful term now to me. When I said the word Frig, it made the world rumble. And that's how I knew that calling her by Frig instead of Frigga, it was power. Frigga made the whole world rumble. She made it quake because I had said her name. So her and I drank the wine that I had brought like a married couple. So we each had a glass of wine and we put our arms together and we drank like we were united and we were drinking together, like a little marriage kind of thing, her and I. And we each had a drink of the wine. After I drank the wine with her, she kissed me on the lips, and it was amazing, and it tasted like wine. So she kissed the wine on my lips. As I closed my eyes for the kiss and opened them up again, I found myself in a great Viking Hall. It was this huge hall. It had rafters so high. It was probably like 4 stories tall, and it was so long. It was like, I don't know, like half a football field. Is that a relevant reference? But it was a super long, giant hall. I realized it was the Hall of the Gods, and I had been brought there by Frig. They told me that they had been waiting for me because I was a powerful witch. They all said I was a powerful witch and that they were waiting for me to find them. Isn't that so cool? Not just Frig. All of them there were so excited to see me. There were gods and people of note all through the hall, on the banisters, just all there having a wonderful time eating meat, which I wasn't interested in eating, and drinking and hollering and having so much fun. I asked, since I was such a powerful witch, if I should have a wand, but instead they gave me a banjo. I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually play Irish tenor banjo, and it's my favorite instrument to play. And instead of giving me the wand, they gave me the banjo. It's almost like my power is not necessarily needing a wand, but it does need music. When I got that banjo, somebody came up to play with me, and it was Braggy. So I got to play a song with Braggy in the Hall of the Gods. So after I played that song, they laid out a table for me, like a feast. And on the table for the feast, they put there, instead of food, they put just an ample supply of art supplies. Instead of food for my feast, I got art for my feast. It was full of paintbrushes and paints and all sorts of stuff. And I was so excited that Odin and Frigga gave me the feast of art supplies. So we partied and had a little bit of fun, but after I got that the offering of art supplies, or my feast of art products, that was when the party was basically over, so I had gotten my gift. When I was going back to my place in my head and back into the tub, Frigga held my hand the whole way there to lead me back. I asked her if she had any more advice for me while I was there and while I was on my way back before she left. And she said, keep painting. And that was my dedication. Afterwards, I still keep that soap for special occasions when I want to feel that energy of Frig. I had that candle that I used to dedicate the Frig for special offerings. And I just keep the flowers for extra spells too. It was such a magical, amazing occurrence. Now, I will say a little bit before I dedicated myself to Frig, I may have accidentally dedicated myself to Odin. If you want to hear that story, I could divulge, because I have a couple stories with Odin. He has not been as much fun as Frig, but he is much more adventure. He is an adventure in himself. So if you guys are interested in my encounters with Odin, I could divulge in the future. Thank you so much for watching, Witchlings. I know this wasn't a super long video, but I just kind of wanted to give you my quick rundown of what happened when I dedicated myself to Frig, and it felt so amazing. I was so scared, by the way, to dedicate myself to Frig because of all of my past with the Christian church and with having to dedicate yourself to the Lord and rededicate and always be dedicating yourself to their God, and it never felt right or sincere, so I didn't want to do it. But when I did it, it was one of the most powerful meditative experiences I have ever had, if not the most. And it was amazing, and I feel like such a powerful, wonderful arty witch. And I got to play with Braggy, and I got a feast of art supplies, and it was awesome. I hope you guys can tell me about your experiences with your deities. Have any of you guys done a dedication? Did you guys do something different than me? If you want to leave me a comment, or if you like this kind of video where I just chat at you, let me know. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And it's time to click on another video. Click a video, witchlings. You know the YouTube algorithm likes it. I like it. I think you'll have fun. I love you. Have a wonderful day.